Hey there friends, it's Nick. A while ago I picked up this book, Significant Objects, and it tells the story of how in 2011 a couple of guys did this really interesting experiment. They bought 100 items of yard sale tat, basically. I think the average price was about $1.25, and then they sold them individually on eBay. Bearing in mind that their total spend was $130 or so, they sold these items for, I think, about $3,600, which, if you think about it, was like a 2,700% return on investment. And that's pretty amazing, don't you think? The way they did this was by telling stories. Each item, whatever it is, had a little story associated with it, and that went in the eBay description. The theory was that the stories gave the items meaning, and the meaning gave them value. And when I read this, as a storyteller and a businessman, I was absolutely bowled over, as you can imagine. But it also made me think about my own experience. About 10 years or so into my job running and owning a web development company, I was really sort of worried that I was doing it wrong, because our competitors were out there. They were marketing, they were advertising, they were hustling, they were making cold calls, and we weren't really doing any of that. I guess in retrospect though, the one thing I did do was I was pretty systematic about listing out for good stories and sort of weaponizing them, I suppose. I guess I used to tell stories all the time, whether it was to prospects, to clients, stories that resonated and spread. And this was the weird thing that happened. I mean, in 21 years, we never advertised, which in a market like web development is pretty amazing, to be honest. So what I'm wondering is whether there's something here that's worth pursuing for all of us, whether we can use stories more powerfully in our businesses. That's what the questions below are about. They won't take long to fill in, but it would really help me to start to understand whether there's something here worth pursuing. Thanks for your help.